YouTube? I am here. I'm going to show a tutorial on how to make Starcraft 2 overlays. As many of you probably watch streamers today on Twitch TV, you could probably see gamers just using their custom overlays, and you wonder, how do they make it, or is it possible? I mean, I've seen some tutorials, but they look crappy. They're just plain. But I thought I'd give it a shot and see if I could make one, and the results were good. They're not the best, but we'll try to achieve something. We'll try to make a nice overlay. So first thing you want to do is you want to go into your StarCraft 2 game, and you want to take a capture of it. So let's go in there and do that now. I'll skip over all the login and everything. Okay, so I'll just start by just making a custom game. That. What did I do? 1v1. Okay. Well, this one we'll be doing a Zerg. Doesn't really matter. Just whenever, let's say I want a Zerg one, I choose Zerg. Protoss, I choose Protoss. But since I'm a Zerg player, so I'll go with Zerg. So once this is loaded up, we're just going to make a few hotkeys. We're going to select a bunch of units, just so we can have areas to work with. And I did choose a 2v2 map. I don't know why. So I'm not that good with making tutorials. If I'm quiet at times, I apologize. I will try to help you guys out as much as I can. You can shoot me a PM. I'll take a look at your files or whatever it is needed. I'll help you guys out. But if I'm quiet, I'll try to make it as non-boring and more knowledgeable tutorial, if that's what you want to call it. Okay, so our game is loaded up.
We require more minerals. We require more minerals.
So right now, I want to hotkey just set up my hotkeys, and I want to select enough things that I can select so that I can have 3 rows, so then I can be able to work with something.
We require more minerals. We require more minerals. We require more minerals. Spawn more overlords.
Yeah. It's much easier if you go into a replay. Then in that case you can just click on these, and then you don't have to make units as I am doing, like you're like an idiot. Yeah, so we need just a few more. It doesn't have to be all the way set. So let's see. I think we're good now. Well, almost. Alright, so let's select everything. Okay, so since we have the third layer up, third row, excuse me. So we could just go in here and just hit print screen. It'll take a capture for us, and we can just exit out the game. Okay, so back in Photoshop, I'm just going to press Control V, and I have my captured image over here. And from here, we're going to make a new layer. And then now, what you usually do is, I've seen tutorials on, they do this, where, oops, get rid of that. They usually do this, and then delete that, blah, 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 blah. But we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to select the rectangle tool, and then we're going to, again, this is personal preference, wherever you want to start from. Let's say you want your overlay to start from around here, you could start from here or wherever you want it from. You can do that, but also keep in mind you want to leave some space so this area can be visible. So I'm just going to do it from about right there. And then once I'm done that, I've done my big rectangle box. I'm going to go over here to the fill tool, and I'm going to make sure that it's set up as black and white, and I'm just going to fill it. Okay, once we've done that, we want to put the opacity down for a layer, and make sure you've made a new layer. Let's name it base, and then we could drop it down to 50%. Okay, so this is what we're going to work with. So let's hide this for now. So this is basically your overlay, and you're going to have to be working with this. And the tools that I'm going to be using is the rectangle tool, the lasso tool, or you could use a polygon, doesn't matter. You're going to use a magic wand for certain areas, and we're also going to be using the pen tool. So let's bring that back, and let's start to designing. Let's say, for example, I want to, first things first, I want to get things out of the way. So if I want to delete things that I want to be shown, is stuff like the minimap, the control groups over here, the time, and this, if you want to, that's up to you, and the middle hub area over here, and you know, you could do the where's the command card, and then you could use this whole area as a webcam if you're going to be using webcam, and so alright, so let's get into it. So let's delete this part over here. Okay, so now I have it selected, but as you can see, if I zoom in, it's not as neat as it is, like the edges. So what you can do is you click over here on the lasso tool. Okay, and make sure you are on subtract over here, subtract from selection. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select the part that I want it to be curvy, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to draw a circle out of it. Oops, I think something went wrong over here. Let's do this again, because I'm being stupid and I'm rushing. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool. I'm going to use a new selection. So, and also you want to deselect it by hitting Control D. So deselect the whole thing, and then select this area right here. And I'm going to use the lasso tool with subtract from selection. Okay, go back in here, do that. There you go. It makes it nice. You could take your time and work on it as I'm just doing a tutorial on it. It's just going to be sloppy a little bit. Okay, so that, that's fine. And then I'm going to hit delete, and it's going to delete that part. And let's go on to the clock. You could do this area, or you can do this area. Let's say I want it like that. And then again, I can use the lasso tool again, just to clean it up a bit. And then we're going to hit, well, let's just do this area as well. Now, if you want for it to be neater, you can use the polygonal lasso tool, which is just a little neater, because you can hit shift and hold it, and there you go, and then just hit delete. Okay, sweet. Press Control D to deselect it, and then now on to the control groups. Make a nice box over here. Again, however you like it. I'm just showing you how to do it. Okay. Not going to worry about the edges. Hit delete. Control D to deselect. Now onto the command card. Again, I can go into the lasso tool and make the changes. Make sure you are on subtract, and make sure when you're in the when you're making selections and you're on the rectangle marquee tool, you're on the new selection tab over here on the top. So okay, so cool. We'll hit delete, Control D to deselect, and then we can choose this area right here, and we can use the lasso tool for this. Again, you can use the other way with the polygonal, or what was it called? It was, yes, the polygonal, just to get it much neater. When I do it, I use that tool when I'm building one, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to. So I'll press delete. Okay, so far, okay, so we forgot about the over here. Grab this right here. Usually I like to go about over here and I just do a little curvy design, whereas this goes inside over there. I'll show you in a second. So again, I'm gonna hit delete, Control D. Now let's see what we have so far. So far this is what we have. If I uncheck that and then make this about to 100%, this is what we have so far. Okay, so now you can get into designing it. So this is, let me just put the opacity down for a second. So this is just the base of what you're going to be designing. You just first you want to make your rectangular box, and then select whatever you want to show, and then you press delete. So let's say I want to the minimap to show, select it, yada yada yada, press delete, and so you go from there. And then afterwards you can add some design. So let's say I want to delete this part of the area. Make sure I'm on the rectangle tool. Again, you can use the eraser, but if you want more accurate, more neat, you can use the rectangle tool. And then we're going to go into subtract. So once we've got that, let's say I want to delete this part up until here. I'll select it, hit delete, Control D to deselect it, and then maybe I wanted to delete over here. Okay, cool. So far we've got that. Alright. So next you're saying, okay, we've got that. Still doesn't look neat. Of course not. It looks plain. It looks trash. Alright. And you want to give it a little design. So this is when the pen tool comes in effect. So we grab the pen tool, but we don't start doing anything yet. We'll make sure we're on the base layer. We'll go into path, and then we're going to create a new path. For everything you want to create a new, every time you want to create a new design with the pen tool, make sure for each one you make a new path for it. Okay, so let's say I'm just going to call this curve. Oh, my spelling errors. Curve 1. Okay, I've got that. I'll select it over here, and then maybe over here. Okay, we've got that. Now we want to delete this part outside of the curve, so that it'll be a nice smooth curve over here. So we'll click outside, and then click over here, and then connect it. Now you can't go into the eraser and then just erase it, because it'll erase everything. Okay, so once you've done that with the pen tool, you'll hit Control Enter. You'll make it into a marquee, and then you want to grab the eraser, and you just want to erase it, and then hit Control D, and there you go. You have a smooth little curve over here. Alright, so, and that's just how you basically do curves, and then do your own style, just however you want it. That's how the pen tool works. So let's say I want to do it to this part. I'll make a new path. Call it curve 2. Okay. So we'll we'll select over here, and then we'll go like that. Hit shift, click outside. Well, okay, I'm totally doing that wrong. That's how you do it, but I was just doing it wrong. Let me just see what I can do here. Grab the marquee tool again. Just delete it up until there. Oops, see, I accidentally delete that. You want to go back into your layer, click there, hit delete. 1 second. Oh, it's giving me a little hard time. Make sure I deselect it. Okay, hit delete, Control D to deselect it. And then we'll go back into the path. We'll click on the path and we'll select this area. We'll select this area. Then we'll click outside, connect it, press Control Enter, grab your eraser tool, and erase that part. And there you go. You have that part. So far, we have that looking right there. And then we'll get into textures in a little bit. So basically that's just how you do it. I can go on to doing this area. Oops, see. We can go up into doing this area. Make sure you're always on the base. Whatever you're doing with your HUD over here, whatever's on top, you want to be on your base layer. So we've gotten that. I'm not going to get into details on how I'm going to do it right now, but you can just think of many ideas on how you want to do it. It's really easy, and that's how you use the pen tool. You can do different types of things of however you want it. So okay, so I'm just gonna do a small little design over here. So we've got that. We've got this area that's gonna show. So this area is black, but whenever we go into game and we start streaming, it's gonna be showing this area black. But we wanna give it a little design to it. So we're going to paths while selected on the base layer. We're going to paths. We'll make a new layer. Let's name this InHUD Curve, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll grab the pen tool, okay, and then we'll go back into path, make a little selection, let's say over here, and then over here, and we'll drag it out. Most of you guys have seen this in EG overlays, so let's see how that looks. Does it pass? That's fine. It's not bad. We'll grab the fill tool. We'll fill it with black. And then we'll press Control D. We'll deselect it. And this is what it looked like. Let me raise up the opacity. Okay. So that's what it looks like right now. I mean, it all varies on however you want to design it yourself. So we'll go back into there. Bring down the opacity to 50%, so we'll see what we're working with. And maybe, I mean, you don't need to show this area, so maybe you want to, let's bring down the ruler real fast. Maybe you want to put a webcam. Maybe start it from right here. Don't want to pass it out there, maybe just right over there. Let's see how that is. Yeah, that should be fine. And then all you have to do is just hit delete. Okay, we've got that, sweet. And then we'll get rid of the ruler. Okay, so far it's still plain. There's nothing to it, nothing exciting about it. But let's go over to adding textures to it. You know, there are EG Starcraft 2 overlay, for example. These are just samples. Go into here. Oh look how cool these textures are. You know, these little blue, you know, these wires over here, or into this. See how there's like the blue texture. So let's do a small Google search. We'll type high def metallic textures, and we get a bunch of different varieties of what type of textures we would be able to use. There's, you know, from Chrome to I don't know, it's carbon fiber, just depending on whatever type you want. So this isn't that high def, so we won't be using that one. Let's see, just make a small little decision here. I probably have helicopters, background effect, sound effects. I apologize. I do live in Los Angeles, where every second there's either cops or and I don't live in the ghetto, so alright, so back to the tutorial. Let's just find something really fast. I just want to show. Let's see. I do apologize. I am being picky. I shouldn't be, because just this for the sake of this tutorial. Anyways, just choose something. So we'll go with this one. Or not. Oh, actually it'll work. Okay, so that's loaded up. We'll copy the image, and then we'll go into Photoshop. We'll hit Control V. It'll paste it over there. Press Control T to resize it. Now for the moment, uncheck it. Oh, press Enter. Uncheck it. Now, this is where the magic wand comes into. We'll choose the magic wand. We're going to make selections of where we don't want the texture to be. In that case, wherever the transparency is. So we'll hit this area. Oops. Make sure you're on the base. I'm so sorry. Make sure you're on a base layer. You want to check that part, and then holding Shift, every transparent area you want to choose them. So we've got that. Okay, cool. Now, how do we put the texture onto the black area, where we want it to be? We'll go onto the texture layer. Let me rename this real fast. Okay, we'll check it, and then we'll hit delete. That's simple. We'll hit Control D to deselect it, and then from here you just go into the layer settings, and then you just mess around with whatever you like. So perhaps you want to drop shadow, yada yada yada. Let's put 7 for distance, inner shadow, and this is just the part where however you like to design it. Okay, and then outer glow, just again, this is all personal preference, however you want it to look. We'll go into bevel, into emboss, bevel and emboss. This is gives us somewhat of a good feeling to it. So we go there, yada yada yada. 5. You could put contour on as well. Again, like play around with it, and you could just come up with some beautiful styles. And then we'll go into color overlay. We'll maybe want to make it a little darker. Choose black, and I'll put the opacity down a bit. And then maybe if stroke, again, this is all personal preference. Put to 1. Okay, so that's basically that's what it is. Everything else besides this is all up to designing to however you want it to look. So with the game overlay, this is how it's going to look. Perhaps this area you want to put webcam over here, and or you could just have it. You don't want this area, you could just make it so that it shows just this area, or however else you like it. So sometimes I go into make a new layer, and then top, let's see, top bar, for example, and I'll make a bar, I'll fill it, and then with the polygon lasso tool, grab the eraser. Oops, you don't want to go into this side. Zoom it in a little bit. Okay, cool. Deselect it. Same thing for this side. Okay, we'll grab the eraser tool again. shoot, I did that one wrong. I apologize. Sometimes my brain just goes dead. Okay, so we'll erase this area. Cool, and we just got a little nice shape. Okay, well, and also keep in mind you don't want to make it too big. Okay, shoot, you made a mistake. You don't want to undo it and start over. No problem. Make sure you're on the top bar layer. Grab your rectangle elliptical tool and just choose an area, delete it, you know, and then you can just go off to making more bars over here, and yet another one. I'm not going to make it as smooth as I can, just for the sake of this tutorial. Oops. Make sure you're on the new selection. Great. Fill it in. Just select and design just however you want. And then, and then to add the texture again, hit Control V. Bring in the text. The image. Hide the image. Then maybe we can say top texture. Okay, we've got that, and then selecting the bar, top bar, will select with the wand tool, and then we'll go into texture. We'll hit delete, and there we go. We've got that bar, and then we could just go into this texture, copy the layer styles. Oops. Copy layer styles, and then go in here, paste layer styles, and there you go. Well, that's about it for this tutorial. Again, this is just a brief and quick tutorial on what kind of tools you should be using and the steps. The rest is up to you on how you want to design it. I'll have a link to my stream. I stream Starcraft 2 games, League of Legends, Diablo 3, and if you could follow me on Twitch, that'll be awesome. And I've had a couple of designs I did myself, a few friends, and they come out pretty nice. Just takes time, takes hours and hours of spending time on it. See, well, what should I do over here? Design this, that, and make the pen tool your best friend. Again, whenever you're using the pen tool, you want to, whatever, let's say if it's the base, if it's around here, click the base, go into paths, make a new path for every type of design you want to do. Make sure you work with a new path. You did that, okay, cool. Make a new path, do that all the time. Just make sure you are working on a new path. Okay guys, thanks for watching this tutorial. Again, this is the overlay tutorial for Starcraft 2. I will be coming out with a League of Legends tutorial. Again, it's the base. It's the same method. It's the exact same method on how you want to design it. The textures just depends on what kind of textures you want to use. And if you guys need anything else, please let me know. And thanks for watching, guys. See ya.